Hello, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood Infp, and while I may have been on a brief hiatus due to a creative block, I sometimes write things or answer questions in which certain information or inspiration from the universe falls upon me. And one of those things was answering questions about the secrets of each MBTI type, which I shall now reveal to you in video form, in beautiful video form. So with that being said, let's get started with the ENTJ. ENTJs can have the ability to be extraordinarily hopelessly romantic. Although they will never show it, they will never admit it, they will never even realize it some of the times, but there is an essence to ENTJs that will strive for that perfect, hopelessly romantic lifestyle or situation that they might dream about, that they might want to happen, but they may realize that it is super unrealistic, super unpractical, super impossible. Although sometimes an ENTJ might say there's nothing that's impossible, but regardless, the ENTJ will have moments where they are going to be extraordinarily hopeless romantic, just they won't admit it at all. Moving on to the INTJ, INTJs are often seen as cold, calculating masterminds who have the secrets of the universe all planned out, or then they're in the basement and drawing up on some conspiracy theory here or there or wherever. But whether they are a master planner or master villain or super intricate with all their plans and details of the future, or cold and calculating as some people might see them, because, you know, a lot of people like to attribute that side to the INTJs. They want you to ignore the fact, see, they put on this facade in order to get you to ignore the fact that they are, in fact, secretly teddy bears on the inside. Now, in telling you this, they may have sent hitmen out for me, so if you don't hear from me after this, that would be why. Blame the INTJs. They want to have people cuddle them. They want people to see inside them. They want to have that nice, soft, squishy, lovey-dovey feeling teddy bear where they're like super nice and kind, although they won't show it. Some of them will, but most of them will try and hide it, much like the ENTJs. But once you get past that cold exteriors, a lot of them tend to be like the biggest teddy bears you will ever know. And once again, now that I've let out that secret, they might be sending hitmen after me. Send help. Moving on, we have the Isfjs. They have the ability to be incredibly sarcastic, like unbelievably sarcastic. They may speak sarcasm as a second language because that's how sarcastic they can be. A lot of people see ISFJs as these sweet little cinnamon buns who can do no wrong, or these like sweet people who are always there to help you out. Sure, they might be there to help you out, but they might see you as an absolute buffoon and will answer your idiotic comments or questions in a highly sarcastic manner as they do it. Now, will they admit to this? Sometimes, not all the times, but just note that the ISFJ's ability to be sarcastic can sometimes rival that of an ISTJ's. Moving on, we have the ESFJ. Now, a lot of people will never admit this about the ESFJ. They will never, even the ESFJ may not even realize this about themselves. But despite people believing that ESFJs are stuck in the past, what has been, if it isn't broke, don't fix it, yada yada, although some of that might be changed on to some other types, but regardless, an ESFJ is actually far more adaptable and open to change than people give them credit for. They think that they want everything to stay stagnant, that they want everything to stay in the past, they want things to be in a certain way, and you screw future progress and all that, which isn't the truth. A lot of ESFJs can be very artistic, have plans for the future, but they'll have this certain support system that's going to be in place, and they are actually going to be a lot more open to change than people seem to think they are, or than they'd like to think they are, as I stated before. So don't discredit an ESFJ's ability to come up with ideas, to come up with change, to support change and all of that, because especially if they're surrounded by those types of people, they will blend right in and help that progress go right along. Moving on to the ENFJ, these guys have something to be very careful about. Something that they might even, I don't know, panic about a little bit, worry about, have to put the brakes on a little bit. And that is their ability, due to their charismatic nature, to become cult leaders.
Pie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem.
ENFJs are ones who know they have this ability to manipulate people, to drive people into areas where they want them to go. They know that human connection really well, and they understand the intricate ability to become a powerful cult leader to some terrifying extents. And this may or may not keep some ENFJs up at night if they have realized it, which a few of them, or quite a few of them, have. But most of us don't really think about that with the ENFJ, so exposed. Send help. They might be sending people after me too. Moving on, INFJs. They both will understand and don't understand human connection at the same time, sometimes, but they will try their best to piece it all together for a better world. Due to the fact that they are, like the INTJ, looking from the outside in, they don't feel attached to reality as the rest of us might feel attached to reality. They're viewing everything kind of in a similar way that one might be viewing a computer screen or a TV or a radio broadcast. They'll see these connections and patterns happening. They'll see the behavioral patterns of humans, and they may have trouble connecting with them. They will try their best to connect with them, but they won't truly be able to connect with them, or they'll feel like they aren't able to fully connect with them, just like they wouldn't at the same time, not wouldn't, but would at the same time fully understand the human connection and understand how to help humans get to the right places and how to help people get to the spot where they want to be. But there is that interesting dilemma with the INFJs where it both happens simultaneously at the same time, where they understand and don't understand due to just how their brain works sometimes. So that's something on the INFJs that might be a little bit interesting to you. ISTPs, I'll need help for this one too. They before I say anything, they actually know. Actually, maybe they will. Maybe there is something coming after me. Anyways, can and will be enraptured in stories, especially ones with romance in them and cute things. Just between you and me, I never said that. I never said that ISTPs rather love cutesy things, love romantic things, and will do cutesy things and romantic things. I've never said it. I've never suggested it. You didn't hear it from my mouth. It never came from me. Just say somebody else said that, and we'll move along, because despite their love for cute things and romance, they tend to hide it in a cold or stoic exterior, mostly a stoic exterior. But yeah, ISTPs, why do I keep saying ISTJ? ISTPs will love cute and cuddly things.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
Almost as much as they'll love dating sims, but you didn't hear it from me. Moving on. ESTPs can be some of the most helpful and motivational people you have ever met or will ever run across. They will do their best to turn you into the best you can be. Not a lot of people tend to see this in ESTPs, as they'll see them as either adrenaline junkies, as super manipulative, as some people who are just like ready to go and like make businesses, take down businesses, and do their own thing without a care to other people. Or sometimes they will be able to see their care for other people, but like only certain types of... It's a little weird with the ESTPs, but what a lot of people don't realize is just how motivational and helpful an ESTP can and will be to help you get you on your feet and help you become a better person, and whether it be like physically, usually physically, or even economically or financially rather, I should say. They will, if they know you well enough, they will try and help you. Not all ESTPs naturally do this, but there will be ESTPs out there who have this in them, and that's just a neat little thing you can know about them. ESTJs are often known to work really, really, really hard for both themselves and their family. That is not a secret. The secret is afterwards they can be super relaxed and even be known to play as hard as they work, as they have felt that they have generally earned the right to relax that hard or to play that hard. They have worked themselves into that position where they are now able to do that, so it is essentially in their minds their right to essentially party hard, play hard, relax hard, and do whatever they want to do outside of the work, because they have done all the preparation, they have done all the work, and they have finally reached that position where they feel that they have finally earned it, and they can be like super relaxed. The world doesn't bother them. They're just gonna cruise on by. You won't see this in a lot of ESTJs, but there will be ESTJs out there who you will see as unnaturally relaxed, especially when a lot of people tend to see ESTJs as mostly workaholics with very little fun, not realizing just how fun and relaxed they can be. Anyways, moving on to the ISTJ. ISTJs, they can be kinky. Like, really, really, really kinky. You know those stories about the quiet librarians or the quiet secretaries or the quiet introvert or the quiet person who does everything that is asked of them obediently, and then you find out in the dark that they're actually extraordinarily kinky and they're like quiet on the streets but a freak in the sheets type of deal? Yeah. Just know, you never heard it from me, and I said nothing. Okay? We did not hear that from me. Moving on. INTPs, surprisingly for many of you, will in fact sacrifice far more than they'll ever let on for their family and the people they love, by giving up their own dreams in return for helping them. An INTP will in fact sacrifice their own dreams and goals for the sake of loved ones, and not a lot of people realize this about INTPs. Some INTPs will not do this or don't do this, but those who have a very close connection will in fact do this. As a person who firsthand experienced this kind of thing from an INTP, it is a thing. They may not realize it, or they do realize it. Regardless, they will be very self-sacrificing for the people they care about, which not a lot of people realize. So there it is. ENTPs will generally have fun making fun making fun and teasing others, as well as getting into various debates and arguments. But dear Lord, may the heavens help you if you decide to go after them and theirs. Do the same thing an ENTP does to any of the people they hold dear, and may the heavens help you as they will come and strike you down with various words, methods, and ways. It is in their mind, okay if they do it. You know, like the person who's like teasing their brother, teasing their friends and whatever, but should somebody else come and tease and argue and debate them and make them cry, the ENTP will be on you so hard. So that's an interesting fact about ENTPs. Is it a little hypocritical? Sure, but it is a thing that they do. Moving on. ESFPs can be a lot more focused and intelligent than many people give them credit for. often surprising many by their intellect, as this isn't the image they normally give. These are people who like to go out and party. These are people who like to go out and have a good time. These are people who generally seen as the people who don't want to focus on the negatives or the hard to do or the things, and they're usually seen as shallow, vapid, this, that, or the other. But a lot of people do not realize just how insanely intelligent ESFPs in both human connection, intelligent in IQ, and like emotional intelligence as well. ESFPs have that ability in them, and some of them will shock you with how much more than you they will actually know. They aren't all about the fun and games after all. They do have their own things, and some of those things are quite high level. Moving on, we have the Isfps. If they could become one with the universe and then master all that is within as an extension of themselves, they 100% would. An Isfp is the type of person who, if they could have all the powers, all the abilities, all the time, they would try and master every single thing that they could and make it an extension of themselves. Usually you'll see an Isfp working on one thing or a few things, and they'll be focused on their writing, their painting, their arts, their crafts, their this, their that. But if they could, secretly, they have the desire to master it all and make it an extension of themselves. Moving on, ENFPs often aren't seen as this, but they can be a lot more focused and driven than many people expect of them or ask of them to be, especially if it is something they value or really want and really care about. Due to that being something they really want and really care about, they typically will, due to their ability to brainstorm, due to their ability to jump from one spot to another, they will go and achieve it. They will have this narrow focus, this drive to go and achieve that thing that they're trying to achieve with such laser point focus that most people will be surprised that they're not being impulsive, that they're not being fickle, that they're not being what they usually expect them to be. Once again, this is a video about MBTI secrets. This is theirs. And now, finally, for the INFP. I would say something about how we INFPs sulk rather than we cry. But, instead, I will say that we INFPs can be downright creepy. We can creep other people out to a certain level, making them highly uncomfortable or unsure of whether or not we meant what we said. To the point where there's that nervous laugh where they're going, what the crap, INFP? Yeah, that kind of creepy. If you don't know what kind of creepy I'm talking about here, allow me to demonstrate. Say you're talking about, no, I don't know, your day, how hard work was, shoes, something normal, something regular people talk about. Does this dress make me look fat type of deal? And an INFP comes along, sees you, and if you're a friend or family or whatever, they will go, hey, did you know that if a human was a praying mantis or a black widow, truly, they would result to cannibalism after they have mated with their partner, biting off their heads and, eating their entire body, possibly raw, thus actually giving them that credibility of the name a black widow or a praying mantis. Or it might be something like, hey, did you know that a dead body was found after I saw someone get hit by a car? And they'd be like, what? An INFP will come up with these thoughts, sometimes they're dark and morbid, and they can creep out a lot of people, especially if you're having a not so serious conversation, and they will look at you very weird. For example, in my personal experience, people were talking about the movie The Little Mermaid, and here I come along knowing the true story of the mermaid, and was like, hey, did you know that in the end the Little Mermaid actually dies and becomes a bunch of bubbles because the prince doesn't fall in love with her? Yeah, that's the story of The Little Mermaid. Also, did you know that in Snow White, the queen's supposed to die by putting on molten hot shoes and dancing to death? You didn't? Oh, well, this is certainly awkward, isn't it? I'm gonna just a lot of people will be unnerved or creeped out by such situations, especially when they're not expecting it. It's not the whole creepy of, hi, I really like you. I want it. No, not that kind of creepy. Not that kind of creepy. Not that kind of creepy. Although, anyways, with that being said, that has been the secrets of each MBTI type, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.